Hey beautiful people, Crystal here from Elite Hair Care USA. So today my client came in with a thought process that we needed to do an entire chop of her hair because of her hairline, and that was not the case. So I wanted to film this video so you guys could see that not because we have situations going on with our hair does that mean that we have to cut everything off. Sometimes it's for the better to just leave the length that you do have. And then of course other times, if that's what the client wants, then that's exactly what the client will get. So in her case, we did a consultation and we talked a little bit about the issue that she was having. I didn't think that she was ready for us to do a full-on shortcut. So I did give her more options than one. And we decided that we would just clean up her hair to allow her hair to grow out nice and full and to give her a good starting place. Now, her issue right now is traction alopecia, which is around the hairline. There is some scarring on the hairline, so that does mean that there will be parts where it will be nice and sparse. And then there are parts where the hair will grow around it. And sometimes when it comes onto the hairline, the hair itself will grow back, but it will only grow to a certain length. And that is absolutely normal, very, very normal. So in her case, we started out doing her cut dry. Now, this is not the full-on haircut. This is just to kind of take down a lot of that hair that we are going to be cutting off anyway. And her hair was almost straight enough for me to say that I wasn't really worried with it being a choppy cut when it came down to the reversion, that kind of thing. So I did go through and cut her dry, which you guys are really used to me cutting her wet, and not even wet, cutting them when I silk them out, that kind of thing, which you can still do at any point in time. With her, I just decided to cut her dry first and do what we call a preliminary cut. But it was almost I'd say about 75% of the way. So for her shampoo, you guys never really get to see the shampoo. So I said, in this case, let me go ahead and show you guys the shampoo process. So I started by wetting her hair down, and we are using our Elite Detox, which will soon be Elite Clarify. Elite Clarify will be out and available coming this August. So you guys get really, really excited. I know we've been out of Elite Detox for quite some time, but we've been rebranding this product. So we wanted to make sure that it was available for you guys really soon. So coming August, Elite Clarify, which is a gentle cleansing activated charcoal and peppermint shampoo, will be available. And this is our first part of the wash process. We are cleaning the hair, okay, and preparing the hair for our treatment shampoos. So that's very important. Now, in regards to the treatment shampoo, we are using our Elite Hair Repair and Growth Shampoo. And I went ahead and I did a really thorough shampoo. Now, with shampoo, you guys, yes, the process does start at the shampoo bowl. But shampoo, the main goal of shampoo is to clean the hair and then treat the hair. So that's another reason why I like to cleanse the hair first to get that step out of the way. That is one of the most important steps in the process. And then go through with my treatment shampoos so that all the goodness, all the richness, all the nutrients, all of the vitamins, all of the building blocks that we need are going into the hair at the treatment point and not cleaning and trying to treat at the same time. Okay? So I did 3 shampoos on her, right? So I did the herbal cleansing shampoo, which is Elite Clarify, coming August. And then I did our Elite Hair Repair and Growth shampoo. Now, the good thing about our new and improved Elite Hair Repair and Growth shampoo is it does not dry the hair out, okay? It is a strengthening and repair shampoo, but it doesn't dry the hair out. It does add a little bit of moisture, which is great for those of you who are fine or medium textured, high or even low porosity. It works on all hair types, which is the great thing about the Hair Repair and Growth shampoo. Now, you want to make sure that you are rinsing the hair thoroughly, that you are removing any shampoo left behind, okay? I tell you guys this all the time. Do not leave shampoo in your hair. That is very important. Now, we're going through with our Elite Hair Repair and Growth conditioner. If you guys notice, I did not use a lot. A lot is not required, okay? I did not smother her head to make it look like gravy. I just put enough conditioner that I was able to now detangle. If you guys are noticing, I'm able to go through and nicely detangle that hair. And just getting her prepared for the rinse, which is with cool water. We didn't even have to leave it on very long. Because with her hair texture, I feel like it would make the hair a little too heavy. But if you want to do a conditioning treatment, you can leave it on for anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes. If you are going to do it with heat, then of course you want to do it for 5 to 15. If you're going to do it without heat, then I'd say 15 to 20 minutes. Now, I rinsed her with cool/cold water, which is the last step of the process to close that cuticle. And then, of course, we got her prepared to go under the dryer. We sprayed on some leave-in conditioner, which starts as the heat protectant. So we go through now and we blow dry her. So I'm not applying any other product to her hair until after the blow dry. So we used our leave-in conditioner, which is the Hydration, Strength, and Therapy leave-in spray. That also has heat protectant properties in it. So it's protecting the hair at the blow dry phase, and we're not adding any more products to her hair. I'm very simplistic when it comes on to product, you guys. Very simplistic. Now, the brush that I'm using on her hair is our Elite Paddle Brush. That is your go-to for your blow dries and styling. Hello. All right, so I know you guys are going to ask, oh, what iron are you using to silk press her? I am using an H2 Pro titanium iron, okay? I will have the link in my Amazon store, so you guys, in the description box down below, by the way, so you guys are able to get that iron if you choose. To be quite honest, for at-home use, I don't recommend the titanium iron. I would more say use the ceramic. That's more safe because you're using it a little more often than I would be using mine. Now, I'm going through and silking her out to prepare her for the remainder of the haircut. The remainder of the haircut meaning the detailing, correcting any areas, adding any type of layering or emphasis. We call them emphasis pieces, whatever you want to call them. And then, of course, I did want to make sure that the hair was straight for me to be able to do so. I still follow through with my technique when it comes on to hair cutting. I do not believe in cutting hair when it's in its raw texture because it will never be full on the correct cut. So I always like to do it when the hair is bone straight. Another thing that I will say, before we did start doing her silk press, I did apply our Frizz Tamer and Shine Serum. Now, the Frizz Tamer and Shine Serum is a heat protectant as well, you guys. That is our go-to heat protectant, but it also tames the frizz and adds shine to the hair. Unlike most heat protectants, they don't really add a lot of shine, they add more weight. Ours is very lightweight and a very, very small amount. Goes an extremely long way, okay? So what I'm doing now is just going through and blending her hair. I am not doing blunt lines. I'm really just trying to blend it nicely by using a notching technique where it won't give her any of those hard solid lines. You don't want solid lines. You want it to be nice and movable. You want it to have that move, that shake, right? So this is a good way to do that without creating any hardness or any emphasis in any one area. Okay, but at the same time, even with me doing the notching, I am still following my guide. I'm not just blatantly just chopping anywhere. Okay, I still have an actual guide that I am following, and I am making sure that I am following through with the length. That is very important. If you guys know, when I do my haircuts, I'm very minimal on hair cutting. I do not spend hours on haircuts. There is no need. By the time you complete hours on a haircut, you've literally chopped your client's head for no reason. So for me, I cut, check, and done. That's it. I don't spend a long time on hair cutting because I just know what that does. And the more you go over a section, the more you will cut it. Say hey to my kids. They just came from camp. And they went and got something to eat. Anyhow, for the actual styling portion, I just did some really big sections using my same iron. Which is the titanium iron. If you guys notice, the sections are like 2 to 3 inches in size, and I'm not going through trying to silk her at the same time. She's already silked. So all I'm doing is some really big sections, and I am pinning the hair to allow for us to have a little bit more volume or body. Please don't mind my child. They had to go get me something else to drink. Yes, I am a mom as well, so that is life. Anyhow, at this point of the process, like, if you guys are wondering why I'm pinning the hair, I'll explain it to you. So the good thing about pinning the hair after you apply heat to the hair and you curl it is that it will allow that curl to cool in that direction. So by me pinning it, it is allowing it to cool and lock in a little bit more curl than it would if I was just to let that hair hang down, right? So the purpose of this is to give it a little more body or a little more volume, basically like an illusion, and it's just going to allow that hair to have some more oomph. Now, is it required that you do it this way? No, but I have been adding pin curls to the hair for years. I was actually taught this way by my trainer / my mentor at that time, and it's always stuck with me. I always feel like this gives the hair so much more volume than me just leaving the hair straight. And I'm not one big on wrapping the hair after the fact unless my client wants their hair to be bone straight, or if the curls are really tight and we want them to loosen up. Other than that, I don't really do the wrap thing unless it's absolutely required. Okay. So now the curls have cooled and I'm just pulling it down, okay? And it's not going to be like Shirley Temple curls, you guys. This is just going to just kind of give a little more oomph. That's it. If she wanted to make it really curly, then I would have just left the pins in and let her go home with them, and that would be done with that. So I want you guys to comment, tell me what you think about her new cut. If you guys see, we left some length. She still has her length. She's still able to do her thing. She still has some nice body. We did add some body to the hair, which is an illusion. As I said, she is fine textured. So that is the purpose of us doing it this way. And now she has a shape. Having a shape is very important. It really aligns everything. It gives the face a shape. It gives you your hair more emphasis, more oomph, more move. And I just absolutely loved it. Well, like I said, comment down below, you guys.